when did you finally make the jump over to the Houston Rockets? Because I
was at the Celtics for 4 years and did a lot of work with Danny Ainge and Mike Zarin, who's still there. And I couldn't believe it. It was in our worst season. We were the second worst team in the NBA, and the owner of the Houston Rockets had read Moneyball and was looking for a change. And I actually was helping to send candidates for the GM job in Houston because I didn't think I was ready. I thought I was too young. I didn't think I was ready. Sent candidates for that job for a year that he kept rejecting through a headhunter, basically. And then finally the headhunter was like, well, he's sick of rejecting people. He wants to at least talk to you. And I was like, okay, I don't think I'm ready, but sure, I'll go talk to you. So I flew down in 2006, I think it was March of 2006, and met with him at 9 a.m. and had the job at 2 o'clock.
What was it? How does that happen? What was the interview like? How did you show him your chops? What was convincing enough to be okay, 5 hours from now, you're going to be the assistant GM of the Houston Rockets? Yeah,
so I showed him a plan for the team, and obviously I said a lot of the right things. He probably shouldn't have hired me, and that what I was showing him was probably wouldn't have even impressed me because I had to do it so quickly because the interview came together so fast. But by 2 o'clock, he's offered me the job, and I don't even know what to do. He's like, well, who's your agent that I can negotiate with? I'm like, I don't have an agent. And so I call one of my friends, and he's like, yeah, just pretend you have an agent. So I pretended I have an agent. Then I'm calling my wife, who's a big sports fan. Our honeymoon was at the Olympics. And I was like, he's offered me the job. I think I should take it before he changes his mind. She's like, take it. That seems like a good opportunity, which I still respect. Take it. Because we had little kids at the time, and she had to move. And she was very supportive, and she was just like, yeah, obviously the job of a lifetime. So I got, yeah.
You seem to have a lot of humility. I think that was the one thing that was astounding to me when you came to the LCS for the first time. We were just sitting there playing Pop-A-Shot, and I was playing
so poorly, too. I was so mad at myself.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I ran up your pockets.
Yeah. If we were on the regular machine, I would have beat you, but
well, I don't know.
No, it wasn't working. So I have my excuses ready.
Yeah, I'm just saying, maybe a courtside seat to a Rockets game for losing.
Come to Houston. I'll set you up. You're a world class player and things. I never was. So it's no shock that you beat me.
No. You too much. You're too much. So a lot of humility, but I think what an interesting position to be in, because at that time you must have been 34.
When I came to LCS?
Or no.
When I was first at the Rockets. Yeah, I was 34 when I came to the Rockets, yeah.
And what was that transition like? So you go from the Boston Celtics, obviously a new owner with the Rockets. What was the difference?
It's crazy because you go from no one having any idea who you are to a lot of people, especially in Houston, knowing. And you probably went through that in your transition. And yeah, I think that's the biggest change, is going from not knowing no one knowing who you are to a lot of people knowing. That's tough. It's tough on your family, things like that. So that's probably the biggest change.
And who was playing for the Rockets in 2006? We
had maybe the biggest player in the world, Yao Ming.
Yao Ming was still in the...
We're still the number one team in the world because we're number one in China. So if you just count fans of Rockets, we're number one in the world. So.
Huh. Whatever had was it Steve Young?
No, Steve Young's a quarterback on the Niners.
No. Oh my God, it's gonna kill.
Steve Francis.
Yes, my God, dude, he was a legend on NBA Live.
He was, yeah.
And then he went and played in China, right?
He probably played in China at the end because he was struggling. Yeah, he was struggling and struggled with his career. Right when he should have been peaking, he tailed off completely because of off the court stuff.
So what was the energy like at the organization? Because obviously Yao Ming was just a monumental and cultural player for the NBA. And what did you see as an assistant GM helping out the organization? What was next? Or were you guys stuck right there in that mindset we have to win now?
I was very fortunate in that they had Yao Ming and Tracy McGrady, two all-world players, and so my job was really filling in the gaps, which is something that sorry, that's my phone.
Well, that's all right. Hey, man, this is it. This isn't ESPN. You could do anything you need to do. And you got two phones. Why does every NBA player and executive have two phones?
Tell you why the players are.
Oh, and I've heard stories. We don't need to go into that. Actually, we should talk about that.
Yeah. So when I first Yeah, that's
Step back a little bit. at
that's
least.
a self-made at night.
Yeah.
That's your
After hours.
after hours podcast.